I am Mexican, but I do not speak any Spanish. I do understand a little bit of Spanish, though. I'll give myself that. But we're talking Fear the Walking Dead. Sicut Cervus. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. But spoiler review. And listen, guys. I mean, I've given Fear the Walking Dead a lot of shit, especially the first season. The first season is not very good. The second season started off just really shaky until these last couple of episodes have actually been somewhat entertaining. And this episode really takes off. I think this actually might be one of the best episodes. It might be the best episode. I think I said that last time, but what this episode did great was the pacing of it. The pacing of it and a lot of the things that were going on. It just wasn't just dialogue. It was interesting dialogue. It was an interesting new setting. It was interesting where the characters were going with this one. There were some deaths in here. Like, it was a lot of there was a lot of things going. It was moving. It was moving along this episode, which I absolutely liked about this episode. It captures my interest. It captured my interest, and it makes me look forward to next week, which I think Nick is going to bite the dust next week, and I'll explain why later. So in this episode, we see the actual meetup of, they're trying to cross or go to Mexico. We have Strand, the crew, and everybody. We have Luis. Luis and Strand are going to have to negotiate with these guys who end up, the guy that they're supposed to meet up ends up having like another guy who has a firearm. So they're telling everybody, okay, everybody go down below deck. And I don't get how they're going to do this. I mean, without any confrontation. I mean, there's no way that we're going to get through this with any confrontation, because first of all, Luis said that I only brought enough money for 2 heads. And this is bad. Like, what are we going to do? And they didn't figure anything out. So what else did they think that was going to happen? That there was going to be a confrontation. So through the confrontation, bullets are flying. Everybody, Daniel's hearing them out. Daniel was able to hear the translation. He translate to everybody what they were saying. Also in I think it was Spanish. There's different kind of Spanish. But Luis ends up biting the bullet, man. He ends up dying, and he doesn't want to get killed, though. He doesn't want to get stabbed in the head. He wants Daniel to leave him alone. And Daniel sees this one coin that Luis is telling him to give to his mama. And Daniel sees this one coin, and he just like, don't worry about it. Like, tells Ophelia, don't worry about it, and throws it in the river. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, what the fuck is that coin all about? And I thought the interesting aspect is Daniel. Daniel's becoming a little cold-hearted and hardening up a little bit. And I'll get to that in a minute. And Ophelia sees this. Ophelia definitely sees this and addresses this in this episode. So Luis dies, and I was kind of shocked how he's already gone. I was kind of starting to like Luis, even though how much of a dick he was. I was like, dude, he's already gone. All right, well, what did that lead up to? Anything? And I think Luis's death actually leads up to a lot of things, which is kind of surprising. So Strand says, okay, we got to go to land because these guys are firing on us, and they go to land. And because in the beginning of this episode, we see a big old church, and the minister, the preacher was pretty much telling everybody, this is not God. This is, the evil within. We have to fight evil and this and that. And they're taking like their little bread, little communion and stuff. And they all poison themselves, basically. I thought it was the actual preacher that did that, or the minister, but it wasn't. It was actually Cecilia, which is Luis and Strand's lover's mom. And we'll get to that in a minute as well. Because we do see Strand's lover I call him lover because I can't remember his name. We see him at the church and telling him, no, why'd you do that? And then it cuts from there. And then we see Strand on that same island. We see all the kids, the minister himself zombified, and we see Strand. We see everybody take out all these zombies. And, Nick is just tired of it. He sees this little girl who's a zombie, and he can't do anything about it. And he's just tired of it. He's definitely tired of it. Now, I'm going to go back to this moment because it's very, very crucial when I really tell you a lot more details of what I thought about the episode. But I'm recapping it a little bit. So, just to finish off the recap, they go to where Strand's lover, pretty much his mom's place is at. It's a big gated community. They meet the mom, they meet Strand's lover, they meet, they tell the mom that Luis is dead. We learn a lot of things are not always. It seems like everything's fine. They have maids, they have gardeners, they have everything's pretty much normal at this gated kind of community, not community, but household. We do learn that Strand's lover has got bitten in the arm, so they have to deal with that. We find out though more into the story that not everything is what it seems. Not everything is what it seems, and that's where the ending gets a little bit more interesting and a little bit more crazy. But so that's a little bit of a recap. But I want to just dive right into this, baby. Let's dive right into this. Chris is crazy. This guy, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? This guy, I mean, he's always had a hot temper and a hot head since the beginning, but this guy needs to be taken out soon. He's mad. He's pissed because everybody else is pissed at him. He's pissed that Madison didn't believe him because Madison said that dude, Chris killed that guy and he was not even sick. Like, he just shot him. Which I might be on Chris's side about that because that guy was going to come back and just kill everybody, honestly. Chris is like the Shane of this series. Like, this guy is losing it bad. He threatens Alicia. He tells Alicia, I don't want to hurt anybody, so you need to just keep that shit to yourself. Because what happens while they get confronted to all those people and the minister themselves when they're zombified, excuse me, is he watches Madison gets taken over by a zombie and is on the ground, and Chris could help her, but he doesn't. He just watches and hopes that she dies. And Alicia's like, Chris, what the fuck is wrong with you? So Chris is losing it really, really bad. And then at the end of this episode, when the shots were fired by Strand, he's about to kill Madison. He's about to probably kill Alicia too. I'm like, this guy needs... Don't say, Chris, what the hell are you doing here? Get out of here. Nah, beat the shit out of that kid. Because that little kid needs a beating. That little kid needs a fucking beating. Like, come on, Chris. What the hell's wrong with you? That automatically makes me want to see him go. And if he does, he might be the one that dies at the mid-season finale. I wouldn't be shocked because this guy is starting to become so unlikable. And he wasn't that very likable at all in the beginning anyway. So just seeing his transformation and just seeing how much of a danger he is. I mean, it's all because his mom died. But come on, Chris. Like, you have gone somewhere where we the audience never thought you would go. Do I like it? Do I like this development? I kind of do, because it makes me, it showcases that there's a villain among themselves, and that's Chris. And Chris is just off the rocks, man. He's off the rocks. I'm back on board with Nick. I really do like Nick now. Even though I think he's an idiot at the end of this episode, he's listening to Cecilia. I thought Madison was just being a little bit like, come on, Madison, stop being a little... Stop telling him what to do. He's a grown-ass man. Come on. I know he's a druggie, but there ain't no drugs around for him to get to. But she was right. She was right about Cecilia. She was right about Luis's mom. I mean, she is absolutely nuts. Like, about this episode, as Fear the Walking Dead, it's taken a lot of liberties from Walking Dead, especially last episode with using the Holly thing. And then this episode using retreading and rehashing Herschel, basically. It was basically Herschel all over again. But I don't want to say retreading and rehashing, because I think it's fine right now, because I think some people would think that. Some people would still think that the dead are still living, so to speak. That this is, they'll not snap out of it, but they're still them. They're still them, just in, they can't control their body and all that stuff, which is stupid. I'm sorry, it's stupid. But yeah, she's a crazy nut job. But I really do like Nick, and I think him and Ophelia are there's so much hints that a romance is gonna happen there, and I'm not shocked. But I will say that Nick is a huge possibility that he bites the dust next episode, because in the promo you see Alicia just crying out, like kind of reaching out at night. I think a swarm of zombies got out, and I already said that Nick is following the Cecilia philosophy, and then you see Nick confront a zombie, and he doesn't have any blood. He doesn't have any blood on him. He thinks he just thinks he's one with the zombies at this point, and I think at that point he's gonna get bit and he's gonna die, and they're gonna swarm on him, which is that's not gonna be good, because out of all the cast members, I think Nick is the more likable one, which is kind of crazy. Daniel, I really like Daniel, but he's losing his shit as well. He's starting to talk to his dead wife. He's starting to see visions of what he did in the past, especially when he was held that one zombie kid and went back, and I guess he was holding like an actual kid by the throat and killed someone, in war and stuff. So he's losing it. Ophelia sees that too. Ophelia prayed to her mom and said, like, dude, dad's fucking going crazy, man. Another thing in this episode was Strand. I'm starting to really like Strand, but come on, we all knew he wasn't gonna kill himself. We all knew he wasn't gonna take that communion kind of thing, that bread. We knew he wasn't gonna poison himself, even though how much he loved the guy, and I think he did. I think he sympathized with the guy. I think he knows about this world, that there is no living in here. There's only dead. And if you want to live, you have to kill the dead. And if you never want to see a loved one walk around aimlessly and devouring people when they don't want to devour people. So he did the right thing by shooting his lover in the head. So the mom's gonna be pissed. Because his mom is crazy, man. She's the one that did those poisoning for the bread. She's the one. She has this philosophy that they're still alive. That I thought something was up when she said, well, you didn't shoot him in the head. So why are you sorry for? Like, dude, this bitch is crazy. Like, this versus Herschel 2.0, basically. She's keeping the dead down in the cellar, like Herschel all over again. It's kind of crazy because Chris is like the Shane. So I'm just saying. But overall, I thought the episode was really great. Like I said, the pacing was great. What the characters were doing in this episode were great. A lot of them losing their shit. Even Nick losing his shit. Because now he's following like kind of a cult. I did like the mystery among this place, even though finding out that it was pretty much Herschel all over again, but it's still fine. I think the execution was there, so it's all fine with me. I thought Alicia, because I said, why the fuck is Alicia still watching TV? That I liked how they kind of came back to it and they didn't leave that unanswered. Madison told her, like, yeah, when you were a kid, you used to do this, sit down in there. So that was a great detail. Just the little things. The little things really worked in this episode. So especially with Strand having to deal with this situation that he's gonna kill himself or not, even though we knew he wasn't going to. But the blowback is gonna be crazy. So overall, I think Fear the Walking Dead, this episode really did set something up for something to be really special. I don't know if they're gonna deliver it right, but this is by far one of the most entertaining episodes of the season, and it's great. It's great to know that Fear the Walking Dead is getting better, because that's what we want in the show. We want them to get better, and you can start off slow, but if you start getting better and you have a phenomenal ending to the overall series, I think it's worth watching. So right now, Fear the Walking Dead is actually worth watching. The characters are still muddy. There's only a few you could pick out of the group, or even none at all, of likability here. I mean, Travis, you thought you were going to be on board for Travis, but he's so naive and he doesn't want to listen to reason that it's hard to get on board with Travis, and he's not really the leading man material, not like Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes. So but I'm hoping that later on we do get more addition to the casting of actually long show running characters that they develop. I still think they need a TV star presence in this show, but for this episode, it was a win for the Fear the Walking Dead, and it was a win for the audience, because I think a lot of the audience are gonna really like this episode and say, you know what, okay, it actually took a step forward instead of back. So great stuff. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, just please hit that subscribe button. Just would really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. Don't forget the Walking Dead crossbow giveaway I'm doing. You can check out that video down on my videos. You can check out all my videos actually. So this is another edition of Dead Walking Sunday, and we got one more episode until the mid-season finale. I don't know if I want to do the giveaway after the mid-season finale or at the mid-season finale. I think I want to do. I have to check the dates of when it comes back on. If it's too far, then I'll just I'll do the giveaway winner announcement. But you have a chance to still get in on it. So, like I always say, guys. You guys have a good one, and until we talk more, Fear the Walking Dead. I'll see you guys later. I'm Dead Man. Get that son. I'm out here.